wanted it, gang, and now we got it. This is not AI. This is AKAI's re-entry into the portable sampler market, and I'm saying re-entry as in they've done this before. First time that they did this was with the MPX 8SD, which was their portable sampler that was on the market about 12 years ago. They also had a portable drum machine that was called the XR20, but I think a more fair comparison would be to the MPC 500. Well, if they tried this before, then what makes them think that they're going to be successful this time around? Well, a lot has changed, and at the price point of $400, they might be dominating the competition with this one. Just in case you're wondering, it is available now, so you can get it online or you can get it at your favorite store of your choice. My favorite store happens to be Guitar Center. I recently visited the Guitar Center in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I stay. It was the Brookhaven location, and when I tell you I was in gear heaven, bruh, that is an understatement. And when I say gear heaven, I mean gear heaven. From left to right, front, back, side to side, it was loaded with equipment from all times. Matter of fact, I have my eye on the Rupert Neve mixer, which happens to be a vintage piece. So if you're wondering if you need to trade in your gear, you can do it here as well. You can also sell your used gear and add it to anything that you want to buy. If you want to purchase your stuff online, then you can do so, and then you can pick it up at your favorite Guitar Center store. But nothing beats the experience of going into your favorite music equipment store where you can experience everything hands-on. If your Guitar Center is anything like the Brookhaven location out here in Atlanta, Georgia, then you don't want to miss out on that experience at all. If you like this video, I recommend supporting the link that's in the description box. It is an affiliate link that helps support this channel at no additional cost to you, or you can use the tagged products that are in the video. Thank you so much. With that being said, I want to give a special shout out to Guitar Center for supporting this channel and for sponsoring this video. Even though AKAI has sent me review units before, that does not influence or make me want to sell this to you. I want you to use your better judgment. If your question is how portable is this unit? Well, it is extremely portable. From top to bottom, it is about 9 inches long, and from side to side, it is about 7.5 inches. The screen is about 2.5 inches long and about 2 inches tall. Just in case if you're wondering, no, it is not a touchscreen. Aesthetically, I think it's simple and pleasing. It looks similar to the MPC XL in terms of the looks, but looking from the side view, you can see some of its inspiration, which in my opinion, it looks a whole lot like the MPC 60. However, it doesn't function exactly like the MPC 60 or the MPC XL. Not to give a history lesson, but pointing it out, the Roger Lynn MPCs never had waveforms visually, which is a great update to something that is supposed to be traditional and supposed to be modern at the same time. But as you can see, it fits nicely on a small desk. Though I don't own the SP404 anymore, I do think it is a bit bigger in size, but it's around about the same size as the EP133 KO2, which happens to be the MPC Samples competition. And speaking of which, let's talk about that. This is how the competition stacks up against the MPC Sample, but I would like to note that the SP404 Mark II does have an SD card slot, though it is limited. So to talk about the I/O, you start off with all these being 3.5 millimeters, which is the headphones jack to sync out to any of your modular gear, your MIDI in and MIDI out, which you'll need the 5-pin adapter, and then you have your 1/4 inch audio outs, and then you have your 1/4 inch audio ins. The USB Type-C works as a charging port, so you charge with your USB Type-C wire, and you can do data transfer, which means that it works with the MPC XL, the MPC Live 3, an iPad, and an iPhone. If you wanted to, you can start a beat on the MPC Sample and then bring it to your XL or your MPC Live 3. In case you're wondering, yes, you can sample your iPad or any Type-C device. It does do audio over USB. All you have to do is, again, select the pad and then go into your settings over here where you set up your microphone or any other source. So I'll just set it up to USB right here. and then I will play the sample right through here, and you can see that I'm monitoring the audio as you want to do, and you could just record whatever you have on your iPad or whatever device that you choose, just like you would on a traditional MPC. The pads are really small and they have a lot of the shift functions on here, as it does have velocity sensitive pads and aftertouch. But you can see that the pads are really small. I mean, I have a really big hand, so you can see and gauge that stuff. But a lot of the MPC workflow of old does exist in certain archetypes, especially with the fader, because you know you can assign the fader to different parameters like volume. Like right now, I'm adjusting the volume on the pads right now, or the kick that's on my pads. You can do it to different parameters as well. One of the other things is that it has not endless encoders, but fixed encoders. But as you start to work with this thing, you'll realize if you touch an encoder and that you use your data wheel, just like you would on the modern day MPCs, you can adjust different parameters. I know there are people out there that don't like mushy buttons, and these are clicky buttons, so they kind of fit in between clicky and kind of mushy, but I think they are improved over some of the older MPCs, which that was the first thing that went out on your old MPC is the clicky buttons, if not the pads in itself. And I think this is a well-built design, even though this is plastic and light. Oh yeah, and it has an armrest. So there you have it. I'm sure everyone wants to hear the quality of the microphone and the speaker. So let's start with the speaker's quality. It's important to note that if you have it plugged up to anything that is going out, then the speaker does not work. Even if you have the headphones in, you will not get anything from the speaker. The speaker quality is okay. It's more than enough for you to make a beat out in the wild. Now I have it plugged up to my audio interface, and here's the sound quality. I'm going to slowly roll it up. And as you can hear, the sound quality is amazing. Now let's test out the mic quality. So in order to sample something into a pad, of course, you would go to an empty pad, you press shift and then sample, and then you select your source, and you can choose to monitor it on or off. I'll just leave it off for this example, and then I'll press sample record, which is a little different from all the other MPCs. And all you have to do is press on the pad, and then you can record something in there. Yo, tap on the pad to stop the recording, and it is inside of here. All I have to do is go back into the main screen and then press on the pad. Yo, for a $400 unit, I think that the sound quality of the microphone is fairly decent. You can record anything that you want around the world. So if you want to make those in the forest type beats, well, you can do so without a problem. Now, what did shock me was the effects. So what I'll do is I'll play the track in the background here, and then I will hit the pad effects. And you can latch the effect. So if I wanted to latch color, you can do so. The pads are velocity sensitive too. And you can do multiple effects too, like slow, delays, verbs, phaser, flanger, of course, and so forth. Other thing that you could do is knob effects. So you have knob effects too as well. And you can select them by going over here, and you have something like vintage emulator that you can run. Now I do have the vintage emulator on, as it is on this right here. And if you want to adjust it, well, again, you can use these Q links right over here, which not my favorite thing to do. And then you can cycle through some of the features that are on the screen. The other thing, if you're wondering, you can assign what you want to these pads. So if it's not highlighted, that means it's not assigned to a pad. So if you wanted to select the vintage emulator right here, and if you wanted to go to like the vinyl emulator and put it on the sample itself, you could do that as well. Whole time, I ain't gonna even lie to you, I love the quality of the effects more so than I do on the modern day MPCs. And before I forget, you have Flex Beat if you press Shift in Pad Effects, and it has a lot of effects too. And you can set up if you want it to quantize or not. And just let me know how you feel about this, guys, because I enjoy using the MPC sample. There are some pros and cons. I think my minor con would be the fixed encoders over the endless encoders. However, if you want to use the data wheel for trimming and stuff like that, and you want to zoom in or zoom out, you can still do that on this unit, and it's not as much of a problem as you would think. But overall, I think that it's kind of fine for what it is. It's a $400 sampler, and it has the MPC workflow, though it is a little different than the modern day MPCs and the old school MPCs. I guess one of the things that I could complain about would be the step sequencer or the lack thereof. The step sequencer is similar to the Teenage Engineering KO133, which is one of the things that I didn't like about the 133. I would like something more traditional like the SP404. However, it does exist. It just doesn't exist how I want it to be. Wishful thinking. I hope that they add something like a classic mode or a classic UI like the MPC 60 Mark II or all the Roger Lynn MPCs, where you can use numbers instead of a visual waveform. I think that would be a great Easter egg to have on a unit, but in my opinion, I think it's worth the $400, but I'm going to leave that to you because I'm just speaking for myself.